The bosses emerged from that team meeting a few moments ago. Let's have a word with Paul Stoddart of Minardi.
Basically, the situation is that the teams will only go out of the pit lane, or 9 of the 10 teams will only go out of the pit lane if there's a chicane put in before the start of the race, and we're obviously very short on time now. Let's hope that it prevails, because what's more important, if ever there was a time for Formula One to come together as a sport and leave its bloody politics behind, this is the time. So let's hope we have a race here this afternoon.
But at the moment the FIA have said that they won't install a chicane.
Well, the FIA are not installing the chicane. The circuit, I believe, with a bit of help from the GPDA and certain teams, are preparing a chicane now. It's up to the FIA what they do. As I said before, if ever there's a time for sport to prevail over politics, it's right now. The whole world's eyes are upon us. We want to see a race here this afternoon, not a political disaster.
So 9 teams have said that's the solution they want. Can you tell us?
The group of 9, as it has been throughout the year, have agreed to race this afternoon. For the sake, whether it's championship counting or not is another issue, whether there's protests, whether there's penalties is another issue. But the group of 9 have said that for the sake of the American people and Formula One as a sport at large, that we will put on a show this afternoon. To be able to do that, there needs to be, in the case of the Michelin runners, a chicane installed before the banking. That is happening now as we speak, and provided that is in place when the pit lane opens, then we will be having a race this afternoon.
So Ferrari said no?
At the moment, we'll have to wait and see what Ferrari does.
But at the moment they're not.
At the moment, 9 teams, principals were in there, and 9 teams have agreed to have a race this afternoon. You'll have to ask Ferrari yourselves on their position.
Were Bridgestone people cooperative in that as well?
Bridgestone weren't in the meeting, so we've still got to deal with that as well. But since Bridgestone don't have a problem, whether there's a chicane or not a chicane should have no effect on the Bridgestone position.
Which tyres are you using?
We're using our normal tyres that are on our car fitted now.
And the Michelin ones?
The Michelin runners, I believe, will be using their tyres, but that really is a question for Michelin. I think the issue has been over the speeds with which you arrive into the last corner and what you carry forward onto the straight. And clearly, if there's a chicane to slow that down, then the problem should go away.
There is still no work being done on that chicane.